The thing I wrote is probably one of my favorite things ever, but I couldn't find closure for it, so my best friend there wrote the last line. This is, describe yourself. I find mornings abbreviating, especially the sunlight's incessant need to look self-righteous and fair as it sheds its gold on every surface it can find, letting everything radiate at once and leaving no one in the dark except those who choose to find shelter from it. Mornings to me are beams of mediocrity. If everyone's on the same blatant spotlight, then who is to say that any of them are unique? I mean, think about it. If everyone's under the same blatant spotlight, then who is to say that none of them are playing pretend just to fit in? The sun, darling. The sun is loud and angry, and that is the truth that everyone seems to overlook. Ironic, isn't it? How everyone seems to find safety in the sun, and yet no one ever dares to look it in the eyes. Describe yourself. I feel at home when anger settles in. It's the only emotion I learned to welcome with pride. As a means of escape from all sensations derived from vulnerability. It still takes me by surprise though, it's still the way it consumes me. Because my anger, darling, my anger isn't just a malice breeze dressing itself as a storm. For a storm, much like ripping off a bandage, is sudden. But a storm leaves everything but you in ruins. When I said that anger is a means of escape from all sensations derived from vulnerability, what I meant was that my anger is a boiling venom that bites through my veins, screaming its bloodlust at every chance it smells fear, but who is to say that what it smells isn't mine? Because when I said that anger is just a means of escape from all sensations that make me feel weak, like pain and confusion and love, and how all those three make up the same name inside of my head, what I meant was, the only way I learned to stove a gray area was by painting it deep red. Describe yourself. People have a tendency to cry out my name. Describe yourself. I find comfort in the moon. You'll always find me scoffing at people who deem both of us inconsistent, yet can't help but stare at us when given the chance. When you think a little with an open mind, you'll realize that the moon is the most consistent celestial being in this damned universe, and I, much like the moon, have phases. Episodes where I'm not entirely clear, where only parts of me are shown while the rest remain hidden and crumbled, but there are nights where I feel luminous and shameless, where I remember that I am whole and cannot wait to remind everyone of that as well. The moon remains calm, despite its wrangling changes. It's never loud, never angry, always quiet, and you think you'd find that serene, but the thing is, there's a certain silence about it that's deafening, one that comes with every new moon, and darling, one that reminds me of yours, but I still wait patiently for the next phase, for the smallest lunar fraction to paint itself on the lake's reflection. And I, as a little kid, I used to throw pebbles on it, watch it shatter and crumble, and then pull itself together again with a shiver again. Back then it used to remind me of strength, but now it just reminds me of drowning. Describe it. The worst thing about depression isn't the constant feeling of drowning, because when you're drowning, you're struggling. You can feel the weight of the water on your lungs. And you can't ask for help, because when you're drowning, you're fighting. You know, the worst thing about depression is the helplessness that comes with it, one that's not smothering enough to stop you from asking for help, but is daunting, subtle, just whispers at the back of your head that maybe you don't even want to. The story goes, a lone boy once cried wolf. Depression has a tendency to cry out my name.